righty, welcome back. I have something for you on my watch list that you do not have to binge. Okay, you don't have to mark off an entire evening or weekend or anything like that, just a few minutes. But it's really fun. You ready? Mm-hmm. Liza Minnelli. You like Liza Minnelli?
Yeah. I mean, from Cabaret on.
I just love her. Okay, Liza was featured, some of you may have seen this, featured yesterday on CBS Sunday Morning. I caught part of it, wanted to see the rest, and that's when I thought this is going to be my watch list for today. If you are a fan, you can look it up and watch this segment, but I have a clip for you. Take a look at this.
It takes talent, tenacity, originality to become a star. But the great ones have an undefinable something that endures. And Liza had it from the start.
Proudly marching along.
She won her first Tony in her teens.
It's gotta happen.
And both an Oscar
It's Liza with a Z, not Lisa with an S, because Lisa with an S goes not Z.
and an Emmy in a single year.
Simple as can be, see Liza.
The Grammy Legend Award made it a grand slam. Fame was practically her birthright. She was just a toddler when she appeared with her mother, Judy Garland, in the movie musical In the Good Old Summertime.
I thought my mother was perfect. Perfect. Every little thing she did. But my father, there was no one in the world like my father. And I'm so much like him.
She looks a lot like her father. Okay, the story about Liza Minnelli is about 10 minutes long or so. She talks in depth about her relationship with not only her father, but her mother, of course, Judy Garland. Yeah. And as you said, Renee Zellweger just nailed that performance.
Oh, yeah, terrific performance.
Yeah. You know, Liza says when she would get nervous, she would glance over at her mother, and with one little glance back, it would just calm her down. You know, maybe it's a mother-daughter thing. I don't know. Some moms can make you a little bit more nervous.
That's true.
And other ones can kind of calm you, and that's what happened here. So it was apparently in London in about 1964. Liza took the stage with her mother. It started everything, this career that is still going today. Now, a few years later, I had no idea about this, a Frenchman named Charles Aznavour. I was like, who? Okay. Changed her life. The story goes like this. You know, some people call this guy like the greatest entertainer of all time. And again, I'm going, who? Mm-hmm. I'm Googling Charles who? She says he didn't teach her to sing. He taught her why she's singing.
Yeah.
He taught her, and he said, and then when you watch her in those clips that we just saw, she is feeling it. She is selling it. And I guess this guy did the same thing. Like I said, I have no idea who he is. But she, you know, she grew up, Lord knows she was raised in it, okay? Frank Sinatra, Fred Astaire, people like that were around her all the time because her father...
She was royalty.
Right.
She was the princess.
Vincent Minnelli was a director, and then her mother, of course, Judy Garland. Now, Liza Minnelli still working, currently working with Michael Feinstein on an upcoming album called Gershwin Country. Yeah, which will feature duets with the likes of Dolly Parton, Brad Paisley, Amy Grant, Vince Gill, Lyle Lovett. But he's going to do Embraceable You with Liza. She is also producing his new tour, celebrating Judy Garland's 100th birthday this year. Cool. So if you like Liza, you'll really enjoy this clip. Lots of old clips of her and lots of, you know, she did a hilarious turn on Arrested Development a few years ago.
Yes, she did.
Oh my gosh, she was hysterical. Anyway, remember that? What have you got today?
Okay, this is something different. I know it's not the norm, but I'm going to add something to our watch list before I forget about it.
Yeah.
Almost every morning when I get to work, I sit down at the computer and look at a news feed. Well, today I saw a headline saying there was new information on who might have betrayed Anne Frank and her family. That, of course, caught my attention and led me to a segment on last night's 60 Minutes. It's, I started watching, and I could not stop. Take a look.
Coke had turned in his badge and gun. He was 2 years into a comfortable Florida retirement when his phone rang in the spring of 2016.
I received a call from a colleague from the Netherlands who said, if you're done laying on the beach, we have a case for you.
Were you laying on the beach?
I was actually driving to the beach. I wasn't quite there yet.
Pankow spent 3 decades as an FBI special agent, targeting Colombian drug cartels. His work had also taken him to the Netherlands, where his investigative chops left an impression.
Were you looking to get back when he told you what it was about?
After he told me it was to try to solve the mystery of what caused the raid for Anne Frank and the others in the annex, I needed to hear more.
4,000 miles away in Amsterdam, Thijs Bayens, a Dutch filmmaker and documentarian, had been asking around for a credentialed investigator to dig into a question that he feels Holland has never quite reckoned with, one that gets to the essence of human nature.
For me, it was really important to investigate what makes us give up on each other. The area where Anne Frank lived is very normal, and it's a very warm area with the butcher and the doctor and the policeman. They worked together, they loved each other, they lived together, and suddenly people start to betray on each other. How could that happen?
Of the millions, literally millions of stories to come out of the Holocaust, why do you think this one resonates the way it does?
I think right after the war, people were shown the concentration camps, the atrocities that took place, the horror. And suddenly you find this innocent, beautiful, very smart, funny, talented girl. And she, as a lighthouse, comes out of the darkness. And then I think humanity said, this is who we are.
Yeah, okay, as you can see, 60 Minutes correspondent John Wertheim speaks with Vince Pankow, again, a retired FBI investigator who was called out of retirement to put modern crime investigation into what no longer is a cold case. It's really a frozen solid case. Now, he puts together a team of investigators, crime psychologists, researchers, and even artificial intelligence. To try to home in on who might have given up the Franks to the Nazis. It's a search of records that are half a century old, some which are incredibly detailed, others they're terribly incomplete. And the most riveting interviews have to do with why someone would betray the Frank family, not just the who. All right? This is an incredible piece on 60 Minutes. I highly recommend watching it. And you can see it on Paramount Plus.
You can see all of this on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
But what interesting. I can see why you wouldn't want to turn away from that.
I couldn't. I truly couldn't. It was riveting. And that was one of the things that caught me, is like investigating why someone would do something like this and trying to humanize that whole, that whole kind of event. And that it was not just, it was not an accident. They didn't just stumble onto, the Franks and the other people that were hidden away.
I really want you to tell me the rest of the story, and at the same time, I don't want you to tell me the rest of the story because I want to go back and see this for myself. But can you imagine getting that call while you're on your way to the beach or whatever? You're ready
amazing.
to relax.
And it's because of your abilities. They had worked with him, in Amsterdam before. They knew of his abilities, and they thought this is the person to head up this whole investigation. And it's really something, the way they go about it.
That'd be heartbreaking on so many levels, but really looking into it and revisiting that, especially when you're retired, you don't see this coming. You want me to what?
Yeah. But he says, this is one that draws me out of retirement.
It was cases like this you do not see every day. Okay, you can see all of that and a whole lot more on Paramount Plus right there on your phone, your device, whatever. It's so interesting. Good stuff. Okay, coming up next, Cammy